Damn, you look good in green.
Thank you, Dad.
You're welcome.
So, title of today's video, we're doing a bit of a self-promotion of sorts, but it feels like a worthy one because we're not charging anything, and also there are going to be no ads on what we're about to talk about. So, it's kind of from the goodness of your heart, Dad.
Well, hey, I'm all about goodness of the heart, but what do we get out of this?
No, come on.
I know what we get out of this.
Huh.
We get knowledgeable, informed consumers.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes.
So we've been working on for the past couple weeks, and you've probably seen I've put some hints in the YouTube community thing. We've been working on this thing called Deal School.
Yes.
Okay. And there's a link, the first link down in the description, that'll take you to the Deal School landing page. It is pretty intense. It's been a lot of work on our end to actually bring it to fruition.
Yes.
We've been filming multiple days, multiple hours a day. And so what Deal School is we've realized, I think we've made like 110 YouTube videos, something like that. And they're good. I usually think they're good, but they're disorganized in the sense that if you wanted to go from start to finish of how to buy a car, you'd kind of have to jump around. You'd have to look at the different titles.
Yeah, because we've just talked about whatever the hell moves us on any given day.
Yeah.
And thankfully, on a lot of those days, it moves you folks as well.
Yeah.
But there's a certain lack of continuity when it comes to trying to impart the best knowledge, the most knowledge, the best curriculum.
Like in a linear way. You know,
linear.
Think about it. It is linear.
Yes,
you know? Because you start the car buying process with wanting to understand, okay, what am I even going to get into?
Yes,
and
absolutely.
What car am I interested in? How do I find the dealership that I'm going to talk to? What do I say to the salesperson to negotiate the deal? What do I do in the F&I office? What do I do when I take delivery?
Yeah.
Right? And so what my dad and I did is I essentially asked him, I said, can we take the training that you used to do for your salespeople, and can we spin it around, and can we just make a video series of training for car buyers called Deal School
For the public.
Yeah.
Yes, so that you know what you're up against.
Yeah. And so you said sure, which is like the whole reason this whole YouTube channel even exists. Was You just said, yeah, sure, why not? Perks of you being retired at the time. And so what Deal School is it's about 50 short videos.
Yes.
They're anywhere from 45 seconds to 5-6 minutes, and they're linear. They're one after another. And I've been spending a lot of time, I haven't been burdening my dad with this, but like programming it into this learning management system. And so the way that it works is like everything's delineated by topic. At the end of the different lessons, there's quizzes. My dad's been helping me.
And they're tough quizzes. And if you don't pass the quizzes, well, you don't get to go to the next chapter. You go back to the beginning where you failed until you comprehend it.
Is that reminiscent of your childhood?
Yeah, all the teachers I had were like bastards.
No, but I mean, like...
It all started in the first grade when my first grade teacher said to my parents, we really think that Ray should repeat the first grade.
Did they really?
Yeah.
Did you repeat the first grade?
I did not. And the reason I didn't is because my parents thankfully said no. And the reason that I was not the best student in the world wasn't because I was slow or stupid. It was because I suffered from, I think...
ADHD or ADD,
yeah, which nobody knew what it was back then, but, you know...
Because we're talking the 60s, right?
Yeah.
50s.
Well, 50s, yeah, started in the 50s.
Yeah.
But I can remember... I don't know, by the teacher's third word, I was bored.
I was always bored in school too, man.
So that's why, but it's important to grasp what it is that we're trying to share with you, and it's important to really understand it, and that's why there's quizzes. And truly, if you don't pass the quiz, you're not doing yourself any favors by just taking the quiz again. You know, go back and watch, because the videos aren't that long.
No.
But they are packed with the chock full of wonderful information.
The whole course is a couple hours tops, you know, so if you watched it through and through, you could get it done in an afternoon easily, and it would definitely be, you know, kind of your crash course before you start talking to a dealer.
Yes.
And I mean, even like, so the first course, so the catch here, if there's any catch, is that you have to sign up with an email address. So that is fully transparent, the only catch, okay? And it's available, yourautoadvocate.com/courses/deal school, or just /deal school will get you there. long story short, the first lesson is on how salespeople are trained, and that one you don't have to give an email address or anything. You can just, it's like a sample course. That the software that I'm using had this functionality called sample course, so we're using it. I don't know how to be any more real. And so in that sample course, it's how car salespeople are trained. And my dad literally walked me through it, because we filmed it together, obviously, and he'll walk you through it, how salespeople are trained, how they're traditionally trained versus how he would train them. And like, I don't know, it's maybe only like a 30-minute section, but you walk away from that and you know exactly what the heck you're going to walk into.
You have a better understanding of what it is that a salesperson is trying to accomplish, why it is that they think the way they think, why it is that they respond to your questions the way they respond to your questions. You have to walk a mile in their shoes to better understand what it is that they're trying to do. And you know, and I would tell salespeople, you need to walk a mile in your customer's shoes to understand what the customer's trepidations are about dealing with us. And so I think Deal School helps bring some clarity to that.
Hugely. And I guess like some of the final points I'll bring up is we have whole sections on how the dealership makes money. We have a great video on YouTube about how dealerships make money, and you have an awesome one of the first ones we ever filmed. It was right back there in that chair.
Yes. Well, it was in your chair.
No, it was in that chair, the one for factory to dealer incentives.
Oh, okay.
Awesome video. Maybe it only has like 10,000 views. I'll link to it up here.
Yeah.
Where am I linking to it?
There.
You're the man.
Yeah.
You know, great video. But when you layer it into Deal School right in the flow, and then we talk about how sales managers are compensated, where you pull the curtain back entirely. You talk about average earnings, how people are compensated, what salaries are versus variable compensation, commission. You're going to learn all of that. Plus, we get into the nitty gritty of how to negotiate car deals. And again, the only catch, if there is a catch, is you have to provide an email address to get access to the whole thing.
And the other catch is, as I like to say, the other catch is that, well, if worst case scenario, you don't need to buy a car, you'll know how to sell a car, you'll be able to get a job.
That is so true. Yeah. If you've ever been interested or thought about selling cars, if you watch this, you'll probably know enough to go, have a productive interview.
You could fake it just like the best salespeople at any dealership.
And I guess I just want to mention in all transparency why we're requiring an email address for this, because we are not making any money from it. No. There's not a single sponsor, or in YouTube you can turn on ads on videos. I think this one had an ad before it. None of the Deal School ones are going to have ads, okay? And we put a lot of time into it. So what do we get out of it? When we do have something to sell in the not too distant future, we want to be able to contact you and tell you. And I don't know how to be any more real about it than that, but we think it's a fair offer.
That's pretty transparent.
And is it not the truth?
It is the truth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So this video is sponsored by... No, I'm just kidding.
Us.
It's sponsored by us,
and brought to you by us. Nobody else.
Yeah. Seriously. So take a peek at Deal School. We hope, and I trust that you'll find it really valuable. And as we move forward, we're going to create more courses. So let us know in the comments below what else you're interested in. I know we've seen people talk about, well, what do I do with trade-ins? And can you do a course on financing versus leasing? Just keep telling us. And we're a two-man team with one camera.
One microphone.
These two kind of shitty lights, but we're doing the best we can.
Yeah. We look pretty good for, a couple of knuckleheads.
Thank you, Pops.
Thank you, Zach.